All right, everyone, welcome back to the Backseat Huddle podcast. Today, I am doing power rankings once again. My power rankings are based on who would win if teams were to play right this minute at a neutral site. So that's how this list was determined. This week was a little weird because all the best teams seem to decide to play their worst week of football this week. So there was movement basically all throughout my top 10. And I also had two teams drop out. I had Tampa Bay and the Los Angeles Chargers got booted off the list this week. So enough of that. Let's go ahead and just get into the rankings. At number 10, I have the Cincinnati Bengals. I have the Cincinnati Bengals at 10 begrudgingly because I don't know who this team actually is. Are they the team that scored 34 against the Cardinals? Or are they the team that absolutely failed to execute on offense the second half versus the Seahawks? The talent is on the roster. They've just kind of sucked at times, and they've been really up and down. But fortunately for them, they have three of the most important things you can have. They have an elite quarterback, an elite wide receiver, and a really good pass rush. So without a lot of conviction because of those things, I'm going to put them at 10. At number 9 is the Cleveland Browns. This team is here because of their defense alone. I don't think that the way they're winning is sustainable long term. If the Browns play how they did Sunday against the 49ers, they can beat any team on any given Sunday. I don't know. I don't love this team, but I also can't deny the way that they played on Sunday either. I can't act like I didn't see it. Their ranking at 9 feels very appropriate because at this moment, they seem like a team with a limited ceiling, which you can kind of tell based on the up and down season they've had. But they just beat the best team in the NFL, and they just dismantled the best offense in the NFL. So I got to give them credit for it. So for that, Cleveland at 9 feels about right. At number 8, I have the Dallas Cowboys. This is exactly where I had them last week and exactly where they belong. They're better than most teams in the NFL. They're not as bad as people thought they were once they got blown out by the 49ers, but they're also not going to beat the elite teams in the NFL either. Plain and simple, they're good, but they're not great. Same shit, different year for the Dallas Cowboys. They'll typically beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. They typically won't beat the teams they're not supposed to beat. It's just what the Dallas Cowboys are and what they've been the past couple seasons. They got back on the winning track this week, but I would not be shocked to see them lose both of their games the next two upcoming weeks against the Rams and the Eagles. So watch out for this Dallas Cowboy team to potentially slide off this list in the near future and go on a small losing streak. At number 7, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City is the most overrated team in the NFL right now. Their offense is a lot of fluff without a lot of points. I genuinely cannot fathom how this team is 4th in overall offense right now because watching them play offense is labor intensive. They have so little talent on the outside. It's like, I don't get how they're doing anything. Having to watch Patrick Mahomes scramble around to complete a pass to anyone that isn't Travis Kelce just isn't what we're used to seeing. This offense isn't executing at the level we're used to seeing them execute at. They're averaging 21 points per game against teams that are not the Chicago Bears, and they can only manage 19 points against the terrible Broncos defense. I am not buying them at all this season. At number 6, I have the Buffalo Bills. The Bills suck against teams that are from New York. 2 of their 3 worst games this season are from teams that are from New York. I don't get it. They played poorly this week, but so did half the teams in the NFL. So I can't bring myself to knock them lower on the list just because they played a poor game on Sunday night. They played one bad week. Everyone's entitled to playing one bad week of football. They still managed to win the game. At number 5, I have the Miami Dolphins. Another week, another Miami Dolphins blowout of a bad fucking team. Ho fucking hum. I don't make a ton of it. I think we all saw it coming, but they deserve credit for executing and going out there and doing what we expected of them. I'm not ready to move this team up until I see how they look against a team with a legitimate defense once again. They looked bad against the Bills. What are they going to look like against another team with a legit defense? Until I can see it, they're staying at 5. Number 4 is the Detroit Lions. I said it last week, and I'll say it again. Does any team in the NFL have a stronger identity than Detroit? They know what they are, they know who they are, and they know how to get the most out of what they have. They're just a damn good team, and Detroit is a real threat to take the number 1 seed in the NFC. After this week, after they play against the Ravens, the 2 best teams in their schedule are the Chargers and the Cowboys. So I will not be shocked to see this Detroit team end up with 13 or 14 wins. Watch out. Number 3 is the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles' Jalen Hurts overreaction this week is silly as hell. I'll excuse 1 week of bad play out of the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'll keep them in the top 3. They have some injuries piling up on the offensive line, which is concerning, but this is still one of the 2 or 3 best rosters in the NFL, and they're still one of the best teams in the league. They were going to lose a game eventually, and I'm not going to overreact to them losing. It happens. They had 2 unlucky interceptions and played a bad half on offense. So fucking what? Every team in the NFL does it. Philadelphia stays at 3. At number 2, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who's actually playing better than the Jaguars right now? I really don't love putting the Jaguars here because their offensive line remains a liability and Trevor Lawrence has a banged up knee. But they've been playing well in spite of that offensive line, and Trevor looks like he's going to play Thursday night. This week, teams averaged 18 points per game, which is the lowest in like 5 years. But the Jaguars scored 37, which means they were almost 3 touchdowns better than the average team this week. What the fuck? I've been saying it for 3 weeks, and I'm going to keep saying it. Jacksonville has almost all the ingredients you would want out of a championship caliber team, and that's why they're moving up to number 2. And at number 1 is the San Francisco 49ers. The injuries they sustained to Debo, Christian, and Trent Williams were minor, so they're still the number 1 team in the NFL. Every team in the NFL is allowed to have a bad game, and they had one. So what? They didn't get exposed, and there's no hyperbole in their loss to the Browns. The Browns came ready to play, played their fucking asses off, and the Browns won the game. Who fucking cares? It happens. The 49ers were not going to go undefeated. They lost the game. It happens. Fucking move on. 49ers stay at number 1. So that's it, you guys. That's my show. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. Take care.